Hello, welcome to this video. Today I'm gonna show you how I won the Improvers tournament, gonna analyze the games, and I hope you enjoy it. Please subscribe, and we're gonna go directly into the analysis. Okay, I played e4. This is my first game. It was kind of a warming up because for me, I haven't played rapid chess in a long time, like seriously. So wanted to warm up, and I played a pretty bad game actually. Here I just play the open, of course, I play theory, and I get a really good position. Like here I think it's bishop e3, the best move. Like just bishop e3 or knight d5, I have a lot of good moves. But instead here I play bishop d3, which is not that bad. And after knight f6, I have to go knight c4 and knight e3 or something like that. Like b5 is a good knight e3 and then a knight on d5, and this is a really good position. Or at the very least, really comfortable. But the thing is that here I don't remember my prep at all. I castle, allowed bishop g4, and this is complicated. I think knight d4 is annoying, but it seems like I always have like counterplay, which was my feeling, but at the same time I was really annoyed at the position. Like bishop g4 was annoying just because it touched my queen, but castles surprised me a bit. And I went way too quickly on the attack, and here bishop g4 was really annoying. I calculated queen e1, and I was already going in a bad situation. Like, this is not horrible, but pretty bad. And the thing is that I could have completely avoided this without playing f4, and I'm completely fine. Just knight c4 and the typical plan, and do that. Everyone played bishop g4, queen e1, e takes f e4, bishop takes. After knight e5, I thought I was saving it already, but no, the best move is knight c4, and I'm still worse. After bishop takes knight, I want h3, which is again a terrible move, but for a really strange reason, like bishop e6 is not intuitive at all. The logical move is, of course, bishop takes knight, and this feels really good. For me, that was the best move. But for the engine, it's the third one. Queen d4 is good too, and it makes a lot of sense. Still, the idea of bishop takes knight is still strong. So it was a bad position, like really bad. But my opponent played bishop d7, and here it's already difficult because knight c4 was fine for me, but I decided to go for a more like logical move with rook d1, but there was b5, like really typical idea, and I saw it, and I was just thinking about playing knight d5, which was actually what happened and got me into this position in which I felt really worse because f5 is annoying. f5 and bishop d6 both work. Like f5 is bad because he blunders the pawn, but it's an annoying position because there's a lot of counterplay. But the move that I saw here was bishop d6, and I didn't feel that bad. I actually saw this, but I would have never at all said -2. Like no, -2 here. No way I would have said that. But no, it was a -2 in bishop d6, which I saw, but it looked terrifying for black actually, because it seemed like I could get some attack somehow. I don't know, like this is really for a moment it seemed terrifying, but then you look at the position and there's absolutely nothing, which is terrible. But okay, my opponent didn't play bishop d6. Of course, they had something in which they weren't good. They are 1400 for a reason. I'm not saying this in an insulting way. It's just a thing you have to know. Like people are have the rating for some reason. Usually they have, I don't know, like some tactical misses. They are not good in endgames. They don't have good opening prep. But there's always some reason. I'm 2076, which is I think it's a good rating, but not that strong because I'm not good at position some positions at close position I'm not good at getting my plan, and sometimes I miscalculate, of course, as you see in this game. But here my opponent, after queen e4, my opponent completely collapsed, played queen g5, and I got into a good start. Got me a bit shook, but well, I got the win anyway. it's not a really interesting game. It's interesting to analyze how black could get a good position. Like this is interesting to analyze from black's perspective because it looks like a really interesting position to get. Like here I'm in a good situation. Like I know this. I don't know why just didn't even come to my mind. It's crazy. But well, sometimes it's a blunder. And well, I saved it in the end. Well, saved it. My opponent just completely roughed himself. He was in a good situation and blunder mating one. Actually, f5 here is a good move, like really good. And queen takes e5, and then it's way more complicated. Here is saw bishop f6, and well, tough position. What's the best move actually? Oh wait, queen b6. Queen b6 is crashing. Like the engine thinks it's queen b6 and then bishop f6. Okay, yeah, bishop f6 was the move I saw. Queen b6 and then king h2, 1 or king h2. I don't really care. But king h2 gets me into some diagonals, like I don't know, f4 or something. I don't know. No, don't complicate it my own. King h1, and well, it's just a counterplay. I'm up a pawn, but the counterplay there's it's just really huge and really terrifying. So well, that's the first game. And here I'm gonna show you a game that will surprise you because my opponent played a really bad game actually, like terrible. I didn't play good either, of course, but sometimes it happens. Here my opponent played the Vienna, I play my prep, and I get this position in which I blundered. Like I knew knight c6 was a good move, but then I said, wait, but c5 and then knight c6 maybe is good. And I decided too quickly to make that. I should have thought for 1 minute and said, wait, knight c6 is better, and realized that. But instead, they went c5, allowed this check, and here he's already in a good development position. He's gonna quickly attack me, and it's difficult for me to get my pieces out. I played this. There's a mate threat. I go bishop e6, of course. Actually, fun moment. For a moment, I was actually just gonna play bishop e7. I'm gonna blunder completely this. And well, I think I would have lost this game. Maybe with the end, I think maybe I could have roughed him, but I don't know. Like this was really bad. But of course, this is not that bad. My opponent played really good here. Like he played the top engine moves, like knight f4. I think it's really good. Okay, it's already a +1. And after queen d7, my opponent plays c4, which is not engine move, but it's a fourth engine move. But the difference is like I don't know, like 0.3, so it's not really a big deal. Doesn't really matter. And after bishop e7, my opponent took really quickly. And here I was thinking rook d1, knight takes bishop, a lot of good ideas. But my opponent just played c4, which is not bad either. Of course, here I just defended. My opponent traded really quickly, and that's a mistake. When you're lower rated and you're playing a higher rated opponent, you don't have to go into endgames. Well, you can, but you have to be really confident in your strength in them. You cannot say, well, it's a drawn position, I will draw it. No. You have to think if you might be stronger than them in an endgame. In this case, he wasn't. I like playing endgames against lower rated players because I can usually outplay them. In this case, if he hadn't blundered his pieces like he did, as you will see, maybe it would have been a really easy draw for him, but he wasn't really strong in that moment. I'm assuming he doesn't blunder a rook every game. And here, of course, he played a good theoretical move. Like in theory, this is a good move. Like rook c1, but just blunders a pawn. And then my opponent completely collapsed, played this and lost instantly. But I'm saying, like, if you have this much time in an endgame, don't assume, well, it's gonna be a draw. Play it out. Play it out. Think about it. Or don't go into an endgame against a high rated player. Like he had an advantage here if he maintained pieces on the board. But he went into an endgame, I think, because of my rating. I think that against a 1400, he would have kept pieces on the board and won that game. But he just completely blundered and well. He played on, I think, for a few moves, but well, he Later played bishop f6, which is a good practical try, but loses instantly. Here the practical try was this, and then he just played king h8, king h8, and I easily win, but good practical try. For example, he plays queen g4 here, I just have queen takes f6 and I win. Or rook g8, which was the move I calculated. Like now I see queen takes f6, but on the game I actually saw this idea of just protecting myself. Now I see queen takes f6. The engine prefers rook g8. I actually thought queen takes f6 would have been better, but okay, well, doesn't matter. My opponent didn't last that long. He played queen f6, which is really bad, and well, the game is completely over. And I think he resigned. No, he played some moves, but well, now he blunders an exchange again, and well, actually not an exchange, a rook, because there's no way of defending after all of this. There's this, I think. Wait, did I blunder? No, there's queen b6. Oof, thought I had blundered a perpetual. So queen d6 only move, and then this, and that one. This, and actually I can even play this. There's no need for that. There's this, but wow. We shouldn't go into that. Oh, I didn't enter correctly into the game. Here. I played a 1200 that had played two good games, and I had to face him. It's funny that his name is Albus Dumbledore, and then his profile photo is Voldemort, but okay. The current played really decently. To be a 1200, nobody's prepared for this opening unless they are 15, 1600, or they are opening brainiacs. There are some 1200 that are really strong at openings, then they lose at the middle game or at the end games, but they are really good at openings. But in this case, it was a 1200 that was a good player, but of course, still a 1200. Again, not saying it in an insulting way, just the rating it is. And here, I think I'm already completely winning. I think this is already a +2 or something. No, +3 even. Okay. Yeah, queen e7 here is not the move. Here, the best move is if e5, it's d5, of course. And if pawn takes, it's this. I play both lines with white. Then you can play this gambit, or you can play this. Both are fine. This runs into a drawish endgame because of this. This is what's supposed to happen. Well, actually, they play d5. You play this check before, but well, but the usual move is this, and then you take the knight. And okay. But he didn't play that. Of course, he went into this wrong line, which it's actually really good looking. Like Queen e7 makes a lot of sense if you haven't seen this opening before. The thing is that it just loses. Actually, the second best move after d5 is knight g4, of course, and then there's knight e4, but then there's bishop d5, and then you sack the piece. Then you're not completely losing, but in practice you lose this all the time because you're less active and you're material down. So it's a really bad position. Actually, I think I made the bad move. I think it's king f1, the best move here. Well, what's the best move? Oh, king g. Now I'm never playing king g3. I know king g3 is the best move. I actually, well, I know it. I sometimes don't remember it, but because I had seen it, but I just decided that I will always play king e1 and king g3 is crazy. That's my take on it. Okay, we're gonna look quickly into the game. As I told you, this is completely winning. And here he completely blundered. Actually was eating in this game. Like I was going to the kitchen, eating, and then coming back. Because I had no time to eat in the next game because I was sure I was playing someone higher rated than me if I won this one, and I was completely winning out of the opening. So this time usage, it's completely false. Like I wouldn't think here this much time, like never. After queen d6, I played knight b5, and I went to it. When I had finished, I played these quick moves, and I was hoping from resignation, but he didn't resign. And well, after a few moves, he had to resign, and he resigned after all. because, well, he's gonna have to play this and trade the rooks and lose instantly. So, okay. And now, the fourth game in which I'm really proud of the way I played. I was expecting this move, knight c3, and then knight takes e4, which is a line I like and play. I will probably make a video about it because it's a really interesting line. If this you get into a drawish endgame, but you still have to play it, and I like that because I like playing end games because it's good practice, a really good thing, and I just like it. It's not strong my strong suit, but it's a good thing. Here my opponent plays this. I just play this quickly. I don't know if bishop b4 is the best move. I'm gonna actually analyze it. Yeah, bishop b4 is good. Good to know. And then after takes, castles. And here I played bishop e7, which it's the second engine move. Okay, c6 was the best move. But now I will tell you why I played bishop e7. I played bishop e7 because usually when you put the bishop on b4, you usually play this. But in this case, for me it looked bad. Maybe with c5 and this kind of ideas, it's playable, but I don't want to. Instead, I decided to go for a really calm bishop e7 and trying to maintain the bishops. Here I decided to trade them because the dark squared bishop for white was really good, and then for black was kind of bad. Okay, here my opponent after knight d4, I decided that I wanted to do this tactical idea with queen c7, and my opponent instantly played, well, I don't know if instantly, but for me it felt pretty quick. Bishop is h6. For me it looked like a really complex tactic, but he played it so quickly and so confidently, like 40 seconds. I know it's not a complex calculation, but you have to look at some lines, like, of course, pawn takes, queen takes knight, that's really simple. But bishop e5, which is what I played, of course, and knight c6, which is crazy, but I completely missed it. Like it's a really strong move. Like wow. And I sorry. I'm really sorry for that. Okay. And here I decided to take the rook, which is the best move. And here I had to take the bishop. That was the best move. And then after rook takes bishop, I had to play queen e5 and I'm completely winning. Completely, because I'm attacking the rook, attacking the knight, and I win. They missed that. Like I I spent time calculating it. I decided to go bishop c3. Of course, if I had seen this idea, but the fact is that I just thought that after taking the knight, queen takes knight, and I was worse. Of course, if I had seen this idea, and I thought queen c3, but I thought bishop h7 and I lose. So I thought I had the right idea, but the wrong way. Because of course this fails to this, but this is absolutely genius. And I missed it, so okay. I just decided to play bishop c3, which in my defense is not that bad of a move. But my opponent has bishop f4, which is really strong, and my opponent found it. And then I thought that I could try and trap the knight. And my opponent found again the best move, but maybe a really tough one. Like bishop h7, it's so crazy. Queen takes knight, then rook takes knight, bishop takes, queen takes, and two pieces for a rook and two pawns. And I think, yeah, here I offer the draw. Like because I thought I wasn't that worse. And his response was, if you wanna draw, prove it to me. And here I actually thought, but wait, is this better for white? From the ancient point of view, yes, but after knight e4, it looks really tricky. And it was complicated like in really little time. And here he's already in an equal position. And well, I just activated like really easily. And here I thought d4, and then like after knight e5, my only idea was d4 and then knight e3. And then I spiraled. My opponent played queen f2, and I just played queen c7 in like 7 seconds. For absolutely no reason. Like, just d4, knight e3. But well, that's fine. And here after queen c7, g4, which is a good move, knight d6, and he's already better again. But well, it's not a big deal. It's just 0.3 as you see from the evil bar. And after rook e2 and knight e8, I was completely expecting f4, and I just said, but wait, f4 is just not a good move because you're over expanding, and then I will have knight f6 and knight e4. So it's a really bad move playing f4. As you see from the engine, they had to play like h4 ideas and try to attack with that, but after f4, they are worse again. Yeah, and I found knight f6 and then bishop d7, then a knight on e4, and then I thought I was better. I was bishop c6, queen e5, takes, check. The check does absolutely nothing. Like he has no continuation, no other check, and it's completely losing actually. Or I thought so. Not that clear. The engine kind of agrees, but it's just -2, and I thought I just had way too many attack. But after rook c2, I didn't see the best move. After this check, rook c2, oh c1, sorry, and after queen b2, attacking the b3 pawn, my opponent blundered. And I actually saw it. I saw knight c3, and then I thought rook d2, queen b1, and I just calculated king h2, and I completely missed that I have knight e4, and I just win. Like knight e4, knight takes rook, and it's completely winning. But I completely missed that. Just completely missed that I have a fork in the end. And actually, you have to think about this line too, but this is clearly winning. That I don't need and even calculate that. Like king h2 wasn't even in my calculation. Like I just calculated king f2 and I just didn't see a win. And then I decided to just take the pawn. I just thought this is tricky because after rook d4, knight c3, it seems like I'm just attacking the pawn, that I'm actually attacking the rook 2 with a fork idea, and my opponent completely blundered that idea. It happened exactly as I thought it would, and I won this game. And I was really happy about this because I played him a bit of time ago, and we made a draw the last time, and now I beat him. And he's a good player, 2200 in rapid. I'm gonna make a road to 2200. I think I can absolutely get it, but it's a really good rating. He's a coach as well. I was really happy to beat him. And actually, a good game. Like, this was, for me, the first game in which I played accurately. Like, it's a complex position. I didn't play all the best moves or at a perfect accuracy, but it's a really complex position. And it's 10-0, 10-0, so it's completely fine. I think. It's my opinion. And I don't know if in the end game I should have gone for this knight c3 idea, like calculated more, because I was feeling like it worked, but I just didn't see the line. And sometimes that works really well for me. Like I don't see it clearly, but I see that it might be winning, and I just go for it, and then I find some beautiful idea. That's the thing that happens sometimes with me, that my intuition works, I think, pretty well. But in this case, I didn't, and got again into a drawish endgame, which two pieces against a rook and a pawn. I learned from Dane. I actually knew it because of experience, but at the same time, it was not that clear to me that two pieces against a rook in an endgame, it's not that clear. Like a rook can fight really well in an endgame. Actually, here, for example, rook a1. I'm okay. How do I win pawns? It's not clear. Of course, a5, that's a good idea. Like I was thinking knight c3, and but then a5, that's a problem. So the engine sees that. Like that's the great thing about the engine. Sees a problem, just avoids the problem, and then goes with the idea. That's really genius. But okay, now we're going for the last game, which wasn't the best one, but was the second best one, mostly because of the rating of the opponent, not because of my level of play, but Well, I'm gonna show it from the start. An Italian, I played d5. Like I had been playing the Sicilian on these tournaments to improve how to play it, but now that I play it on classical games as well, I have decided that I can practice when I want. But if I really want to win, some games I have to play e5. Like I have to go mixing because I want to keep e5 as a weapon. Because if I don't have like a double weapon repertoire, then it's really complicated to play because they just prepare. If you play e5, you will never surprise your opponent, like never, because they will always have a line. If they play e4 and you play e5, they will just play their normal opening, and then you have to surprise them on a sideline from their opening. So that's the idea. For example, against the Scotch, I play this, which it's quite interesting for me, as I told you so. Against the Spanish, I play a trick. Here d3 and then knight e7. I play this. Knight takes e5 doesn't work, and then I have a plan if they don't take it, in which I think I get a good position, or at the very least a really interesting one. And well, so that's my explanation for not playing the Sicilian. I just wanted to keep playing e5 and to keep it. I have a lot of experience with it. I played bishop c4, bishop c5, main theory here. Of course, if they don't take the knight here, you always play g5 because then you have a big attack and they have absolutely nothing. Bishop g4 is a mistake here, like a really bad move. Because I have to keep the attacking ideas. Like, I don't know. Like, what was the best move here? I was thinking queen e7. I'm gonna look. Oh, knight h5 too. Knight h5. I'm trading this knight for this bishop. But then I thought that this bishop was really bad. I saw knight h5. I thought it was interesting, but the bishop was really bad. The knight was decent. So I went bishop g4. After c3, again, I saw knight h5, but then, again, I thought it was kind of strange to trade this knight for this bishop. Okay, so bishop g4, c3, and I played a5 to avoid b4. a4, which I didn't understand at all. Like, I was expecting a3 to play b4 or something like, but a4 is just not a move because then b4 is impossible. And after queen e7 and bishop h3 and bishop h5, it seemed like bishop take d7 was the best move. Like bishop d7 is really crazy for me. Like it seems so strange to go bishop d7 there. So I just went bishop h5, queen b3, and I castled long. Like I think this was a bold decision in which in the end it completely paid off, but probably not the best objective decision. And here I won d5, which is a terrible move. Terrible. Because that's just bishop takes knight. And I just completely missed that. My bishop takes knight and too much is hanging. Like the e5 pawn is hanging. I don't have counterplay and it just doesn't work. But my opponent just castle, which is not a bad move because it maintains the idea. So here I bluffed. Like I saw that I had blunder. My opponent thought for a bit of time, I think. Like, yeah, 30 seconds. And after realizing that I had completely blundered, I just bluffed with pawn takes pawn, which of course is not a good move because they still have the same idea with bishop takes knight. But I bluffed. I was thinking, well, maybe I have something. And if they don't take bishop takes knight, I think I have a good position. And here I think I played the good moves with bishop takes knight, which is a good find by me, I think. And after knight takes, wait. Oh, no, 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 of course. After knight takes, my idea was to take the e4 pawn and then allowing this. But then I took the bishop, and then after knight takes c6, it was a really complex position. That was my idea, but it was so crazy. It says it's good. The engine says it's good. Okay, that's really good for me. But here my opponent got an intermezzo that I had missed. Well, not missed, but didn't actually evaluate it, and I should have. And here, bishop e5, f6. f6 is not a move. Seems like the best move was g4. That's sometimes engines are so impressive, like g4. Wow. Actual rook h8 preparing g4 is even better. Okay, that's really interesting. f6, and here another bold decision, and probably not the best objective one, bishop d6. Here I saw bishop takes bishop. If pawn takes, I thought I was just fine, and if knight takes, I have knight d2. Oh, actually, the engine thinks this is fine. Wow, no, 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 no. I thought that if he blundered and took with the knight, I was just winning. Okay, okay. And pawn takes, I just thought I was completely surviving because everything is closed. Like it seems like I'm really weak, but not that much. Queen d7, h5, g4, or h5, g4 directly, but I don't want to compromise the integrity of the c6 pawn, so bishop takes d4 was the objective right decision, and I thought for 1 minute, and I decided to go for the win. Like after bishop takes bishop, pawn takes, I thought I was better. I'm wrong, actually. Like I'm not better, but it was a good position. But I went for bishop d6 and thought that h5, g4 was a really good attack. But queen c4, h5, and queen takes c6, and I completely blundered. Queen takes c6, and of course after queen takes c6, I just went okay. But he has no mate. Like queen check, king d7, no checks, and I'm attacking really quickly. So I went g4, and he found rook e1, and pawn takes, and here my opponent completely blundered. He had rook takes knight, and he was winning, but my opponent played queen takes knight, and then it's not that clear. Here I played rook g8, and after g3, f5, rook h4, and f4. And then I have a lot of counterplay. Here my opponent completely surprised me with rook takes a5. I didn't even see that. I was thinking pawn takes. And I think that was the most practical choice. Like, of course, rook takes a5 is the best move for the engine, but it's not a good decision because g2, and then I'm going for mating threats. Like, I'm not trying to win pawns here. I'm just gonna get my rooks in, and I'm killing you. Oh, sorry. So it's a really huge mistake, practically speaking, I think. I played king d7, which for me it was genius because rook e8 didn't work well because there was just this check, and after king d7 they just trade rooks and I'm completely lost. Because there's no mate threat anymore. I don't think it was so losing, but okay. I'm just down 3 pawns, so I can understand because these two pawns don't mean anything. Like they are good there if there are rooks, but they are terrible pawns if there are only bishops. So okay, I just played king d7, and after rook f5, I played rook f8, and here I thought I could easily win this endgame. Actually, the engine says that bishop takes bishop, it's a win, like a really simple one, but I didn't agree. Like bishop takes bishop, I thought it was a mistake. Like after rook takes, rook h8, and rook takes h3, and I just win the endgame, it seems like. But I missed that completely. Because if you don't see rook h5, of course, rook h8, you don't think you're winning after bishop takes bishop, rook takes. Because there are defenses, and even though I have these 2 pawns really active, it's still hard. But of course, if I had seen rook h8 in the end, I would have played it. But I didn't, and I played rook e1. And here the engine, it's completely crazy how with 9 seconds, nobody could have found rook e3 with 9 seconds on the clock. Like nobody. Nobody. This would be nuts. Like actually, I don't know, rook takes and rook here. It's still that lost, no? Oh, this is the idea, okay? And rook d1. Oh, and I don't have bishop h2. Wow, really interesting. But this is completely unfindable with this many seconds on the clock. He blundered. Again, rook takes was completely winning. Instead, I played bishop takes because I thought that this was even better. And here, and now I see rook h8 and it's completely over. Like 3 minutes against 5 seconds and completely winning position. It's completely losing. And rook d4 is a good move, but at the same time a completely losing move because now I see this and rook d4 and it's over. Good, now there's mate. He sacked the rook. I don't understand why. I would have resigned here and GG's. It's over, but he didn't. He played this and he hung mate. And this is the way I won the Improver Sunday Rapid. Like, it wasn't like I played great chess. Like, I didn't play badly in the last game, but I played really badly in the first one and in the second one, and the third one wasn't great either. But I just played consistently. Like I punished some mistakes and quite quickly, and that just got me the wins. Like that was just the way. Like I didn't do anything, like you say, any tactic. Sometimes I have really good games, really tactical games, brilliant games, but then I blunder something in the third round against a strong player and then I lose, or I blunder early in the second round, I lose against a 1200, and then I have a great game in the last round against an 1800, but then I don't win a thing. So was really fun for me. Like the first event, I was really happy in the end. And now that I have this membership, I'm gonna again use it to try and get some more events. Like I'm trying to organize some events in which I can gift memberships. At some point, if I get more than 100 subscribers or something like that, of if I can consolidate, I will try and get into the streamers partner program and try to get some chess.com memberships to give away. And so thank you for seeing this. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe. If you have some topic that you want to look about in chess, or you want to give me some feedback, I really appreciate it. And bye.